My name is Madison Barnes. It's November 27th, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to overhand serve in volleyball. Okay, so because it's cold outside, I'm going to demonstrate at my highest point in my house so I can toss the ball properly, but I'm just going to show you a standard overhand volleyball serve. So if you look at my stance, I typically have my left leg, because I'm right-handed, up like this, which allows me to pick it up and step when I go to serve. So I have my back hitting arm pretty much next to my ear when I'm looking this way, and my toss will be up in front of me, and your arm should be kind of slanted to make an angle so that it is right in front of your body, so that when you toss it, it will be at a point where you can contact the ball. So here's a demonstration. Toss and a hit. And with this, it allows me to step down and really hit. And because I'm inside, I can't really demonstrate a full follow through, just because I don't have enough room to fully extend my arms at a pace that I can do it quick enough without the ball coming back and hitting me. So through that demonstration, I basically just went through how you're gonna have to stand, where your arms need to be located, and how you're gonna toss it up and where you need to toss it. But I have other drills and strategies that could help in performing this activity. Also, with my lack of space, I'm aware that I was not able to step properly, as the step would allow me to really put more force into the hit, but that is unable to be done because it is snowing outside and I can only really perform it inside. An overhand serve is typically a more intermediate skill to be done in volleyball. There is the underhand serve, which would be considered a beginner level one, and a jump serve, which would be the very experienced skill. This skill takes balance, hand-eye coordination, and some weight transfer stuff to properly be able to execute the skill in a very strong and forceful way. So talk about balancing and coordination in performing this skill. You really need to be able to balance, because typically someone will step with that front left leg or right leg, depending on their hands, up so that they just have a better stance. Their full body weight is on their back leg, so they can transfer their weight to the front leg. And as they transfer it, they're going to swing their arm, which is going to give a lot more force in the arm to hit the ball harder and further into the other side of the court. But the hand-eye coordination is very important, because when you toss the ball up in this hand, you need to be able to figure out how to contact the ball with this hand and figure out where that ball needs to be for you to get a full extension to hit it and then follow through with your arm, because the follow through is very important, as it will also perform a more accurate serve and a stronger serve. Another piece will be body absorption. Your body may absorb some of the force of the ball hitting your hand, so you need to make sure that you are hitting it very hard and as strong as you can, and then following through as well, because this will be important when you're trying to serve and how strong and far the serve goes in the end. This skill would be a receiving skill. As you are tossing the ball to yourself, you're going to toss it up, and then you need to get it to a point where you can hit it, so you are tossing it to yourself. But it is also a sending movement, as you are sending it to the other side of the court, to other players or teams, so that they can play the ball with different volleyball skills. You will also see rotation in this skill, as you will be tossing it up and you are using your arms and following through. Rotation of the shoulders is very much used in this, so stretching your shoulders before serving and hitting is very important, as it'll create a better serve, because your arms will be loose and ready to move, as mine are definitely not right. Lastly, this is an accompanying movement, as you will need to be able to control the ball with your hands and your body movement. So you're going to have to control the ball here, a controlled toss straight up, and then you need to control it with this arm and this hand, because this will be your guider, and the way you move your arm or your shoulders will be the way that that ball ends up going. So if you want to serve it straight on, you need to serve it like straight arm like this. If you want to serve it to the left corner, you need to serve this way. Everything is basically guided in your arm movements, and this will be your guide to where the serve is going to go. So my first demonstration of a skill that you could do, or strategy that would help with performing this task, would be to practice the leg movements but also your follow through. So you're going to have your stance, pretend you have a ball in your hands, so hold it where you would, pretend to toss, watch the toss go up, have your arm ready, and then pretend to hit it as if it was at the point, and step with that leg and follow through. And this back leg usually can either, you'll just transfer the weight and hit, or it may drag a little bit, as that is always how I served, was I just dragged the back leg after I transferred the weight. So this is very good to be done like repetitively. Do it maybe 20 times, and then do another one, and then come back, do 20 times, and then move on. So I'll practice it again. So have my arm up to where I would hit it, arm out with the ball, leg ready, toss, watch, hit, step, and follow through. So that is how that strategy is done. I find it very effective. I used it when I was learning how to properly overhand serve a volleyball, and I'd say that you just need to practice and get that repetitive motion in your head, and soon it'll become muscle memory. Okay, so our next one does involve a ball this time. This one is going to be also ready to go, but this one's going to practice how high your toss needs to be. Okay, so I moved the camera up so that you can see where I will be catching the ball in this drill. So basically, this one you're going to have your left leg out again as if you're going to serve, but this one's going to practice how high you need to toss the ball so you can catch it at a point where you would typically hit the ball. But you're also going to practice your footwork with this one as well. So you're going to put it out, arm up where you'd hit, legs ready to transfer your weight to the next. You're going to throw it up, step, and catch the ball right where you would hit it typically. But you're just going to catch it, you're not going to hit it. So this was a drill that I used very frequently. I typically would practice a couple times before I would serve in a game. I would use this at like when we do our serving drills before the game, but it just helps you get that like height, and you know where typically it needs to be for you to get a good hit. If these strategies get performed in repetitive motions, typically they will become muscle memory, and it'll make serving very easy once you get the hang of it. I recommend practicing these even at home if you're really, like if you're into volleyball and you're just learning. If you're practicing these at home, and the first one doesn't even need a ball, it's just something you could be doing when you stand in the kitchen. And it's very easy. Overhand serving can be a very difficult volleyball skill, which is why I classified it under the intermediate skill level, as it does take quite a bit of practice and coordination, balance, weight transfer. Like, it takes quite a bit, but once you get the hang of it, it is definitely something that your mind will remember, muscle memory, and you'll perform it pretty consistently. Thank you.